Yeah.
For those
Well,
who don't know, Prop 22 has gone and been, legally challenged, as several propositions have, going back throughout history. But Prop 22 has gone into effect. It has these weird, crazy clauses in it. It's a win-win-win-win for these companies when it comes to Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, uh, Instacart, all the others, these big platforms. It protects them. It doesn't really protect the drivers. There's protections in there, they say, but when you really break it down, it's not really much anything. But yeah, the classification, or I'm sorry, the challenge when it comes to the courts, uh, whether it's being classified as unconstitutional or constitutional, is coming up. And yeah,
yeah.
Uber is already preemptively trying to recruit the drivers, probably the riders, and the people of California. So, uh,
Yeah. So this
Sergio,
is
since
in
you live in
my,
California, this is something you're really definitely paying attention to.
yeah, yeah. And this is in my app from a couple days ago. It goes, hello, Sergio. You may be aware that Prop 22 is being challenged in California court system. Yes, we are. I'm just going to skip most of it. It says, for now, nothing changes for you. You can continue to drive and deliver wherever and whenever you want. Whatever the ruling will be, we will continue to fight for the right to work the way you want and for the benefits you deserve. Okay, I have not gotten any benefits out of Prop 22, so let's not go there. For
Well,
now,
except for
nothing changes for
your
you,
money.
blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, look, Prop 22 is something that replaced AB 5. About short version of this. Prop 22 was deemed unconstitutional by a judge, lower court judge, and kicked out of court. And then now Uber took this obviously to the appellate court. They immediately wanted to actually go to the Supreme Court, California Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court said, no, go to the lower court first. And then if they say it's also unconstitutional, then you can push it to this level. So either way, if the appellate court with three judges, when I read the hearing notes, by the way, and one of the judges was friendly to the rideshare companies, the other two were not so much. So if they say that the lower court judge was right and Prop 22 is unconstitutional, and I'm not going to go into the details why the lower court did that, and I read it, and I think he has a point, very good point actually. But then Uber is going to take this to the California Supreme Court, and we know courts move very slow in every state, let alone in California. So they're going to tie this up in court, and they're going to fight for it because they spent $220 million on this baby. And to me, I think this is going to be an interesting fight. On top of that, they have the fight in their hands from the federal side with the Department of Labor ruling that's going to come out also in next year, early next year. So we're in shaky grounds. By the way, if both these happen, Chris, Lyft will go bankrupt. So,
Well, I
so
mean, think about it. How much money did, not overall when it comes to these companies, but Lyft themselves, they put what, 60 or 70 million dollars just into Prop 22, and then they put another
a ton.
ridiculous amount, like $50 million on Prop 30, which failed
Yeah,
just this
yeah,
past November. And
yeah,
that's just in California. That's not
yeah,
including other parts of the country. And
yeah,
on top of that, we have this whole DOL law or
yeah,
DOL rule
yeah.
that's
That's big trouble, bro. That's
still,
big trouble. That's big
yeah,
trouble.
and that could have a big impact. So, this is like small fish compared to what the DOL rule could potentially be.
I mean,
But
California is quarter of both companies, more actually in Lyft's case, both companies' revenue, right? It's massive for both companies. So,
yep.
there's close to 400,000 drivers in California. So if everybody overnight becomes employees, this is bad news. So,
I like
but
how
we'll
they're
see.
pulling out the same exact wording as when they were trying to get people to vote yes on Prop 22, where they're talking about it could impact your right to independent work, including flexibility, protections, and benefits.
Yeah.
First off, let's be real. If you were classified as an employee, you would be getting protections and benefits no matter what.
Yeah.
Probably more so than what Prop 22 does. I'm not
By
in
far.
favor of becoming an employee in any way.
Yeah.
The only thing that they really could potentially do is the flexibility issue, and that could go to a schedule. I mean, who knows how that's going to actually play out?
Well,
But
yeah, I mean, they're not dumb. They're not going to lay down, right? They're protecting the really billions and dollars worth of equity. So they're not going to just lay over and say, oh, yeah, everybody put their Uber hat on and become my employee. It's not going to happen like that. So this is the proceedings. There was 2 days of hearings at the appellate court. It was last Tuesday. I read most of the ruling, most of the questions and answers by the lawyers that were present for Uber and for Prop 22. Not sad, but the irony of ironies in this is that, you know, the at the time when Prop 22 was passing, right, Chris? Our city attorney general was in opposition of Prop 22. Okay. Now he has gotten elected state attorney general, the same dude that opposed Prop 22 then. Okay. Now he has to go defend it.
Oh boy.
That's what he's doing. He's defending it in court now. The guy that opposed Prop 22 when he was city attorney now has to go into appellate court and defend Prop 22. Think irony of ironies. How about that, right? So we'll see where this goes, and we'll keep you guys posted, obviously. And this decision should be out probably mid-January to late January. And there's no more talking. Now the 3 judges are going to decide. If they call it, there it is, unconstitutional. There's the guy, Rob Bonta, like the Office California Attorney General, Rob Bonta, who opposed Prop 22 when he was state lawmaker and joined coalition of 17 state attorneys. Now he has to go defend it. And it's kind of ironic, and it's kind of not funny, but it's kind of sad, really. So how much of his, he's got to put all his power into it, because you can't, overruling or overturning propositions should not be taken lightly, because people spoke correctly or incorrectly. That's the will of the people, and they had 59% of the vote. Although I thought it was completely misleading campaign, because they had $220 million, and the digital media, print media was just running nonstop, bro. They were just commercial after commercial, and they made people believe that Prop 22 is a good thing. Well, now we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I completely agree there. The amount of money that was thrown to it just to try to appeal, and the language that they were using was awfully misleading when it came down to it. And I think that swayed public opinion. Let's be real, that was marketing gold and genius when it came to it. But beyond that, it could be bad. So we'll see. Oh yeah, we'll keep you posted, especially for that. And then, other states were looking at Prop 22 like legislation as well too. So it's not just California that could be affected, but it could be more states, especially depending on how this DOL rule also goes. So
yeah, I agree. People say, "Oh, you guys talk a lot about California, blah blah blah." I'm like, as California goes, so does the rest of the country. It starts here, and then
here's the other thing: what starts in California tends to go to the other parts of the country. So, that's kind of what plays out. So, California is kind of where some things start and some things fail, and we'll see what happens from that. All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club, with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.